Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
All the rest of the world. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
This is one of those rare negotiations where one side has already said, I'm willing to compromise. The president has said, look, I'm willing to support legalization, amnesty for these people here legally, but you got to reassure us that they're not going to bring all their relatives with them, and that we're going to be able to prevent people like them from coming in the future with, like, real border security, like a wall. Why would Democrats be against that?
Well, certainly the Democrats do not want the government to shut down, period. That's our position.
Right.
We've held that position in the past, and frankly, we were not responsible for the shutdowns of the past. However, going forward, what are we to do? We did, or the Republicans put a $150-some billion hole in the money that we need to fund all government programs for the next year. That was the tax cut that we just passed last December. And so we start off with a very, very difficult financial situation in which $150 billion that we were counting on to solve some of the financial issues, some of the funding problems, disappeared in that tax cut.
Well, I think that's,
that's
a fair thing to, no, but I actually would agree with you on that. I mean, that's a kind of legitimate argument to have. Do we have enough money? Where do we get the money? But why are we having an argument about people who aren't even citizens? I mean, I feel sorry for them, but that's like number 111 on the list of priorities for most Americans. Why is it number 1 for Democrats?
Well, unless you happen to be one of the 800,000 that are DACA, of which 160,000 have actually graduated from one or another of our universities.
They're great, but I mean, there are 325 million actual Americans here, and their concerns are going down the list, so the concerns of illegal aliens can take the top spot. Why?
Well, there's also a host of other problems that are in that funding question and the keeping the government open. The military wants more money and, frankly, needs more money. We also need to provide money for the children's health insurance programs and on and on. So infrastructure, anybody mention the $1 trillion infrastructure, and where's the money for that? Well, it mostly disappeared in the tax cut.
Look,
so
I'm not disagreeing with you. So, but why can't we just get past the DACA thing? We're just spending an awful lot of time.
I think we will.
On other countries' citizens when our citizens are waiting for Congress to do something. So why not just say, look, that's fine. We will build a wall. Why not build a wall? It'll put Americans to work. Why not say you can't sneak in and then bring your relatives? What? You sneak in, then your relatives get to come? Why is that fair?
Well, I think that there is a reasonable solution to all of this. The DREAM Act, which has been around 5 years now, deals with most of that issue. That you talked about, chain immigration issue, that needs to be addressed. It can be a serious problem. Certainly, these DACA students or DACA individuals, I think, are more interested in their own circumstances. The issue of their parents or relatives and so forth, yes, that should be dealt with. Going beyond that, a wall, it's been pretty well determined that there are far better ways to spend several tens of billions of dollars than to build a wall.
Well, how about
certainly we could use new technology. The Coast Guard, for example, needs money to patrol the oceans, which happen to be the major way in which drugs enter the nation.
I think most people would be totally for that. But under our current system, we give out, in effect, green cards, which become citizenship on the basis of a lottery, the diversity lottery. Why in the world, if citizenship mattered, if we cared about our country, would we just randomly give green cards to people on the basis of chance, of bingo? Like, why do we have that program? Why can't we get rid of it?
Well, there certainly needs to be comprehensive immigration reform, and that needs to be one of the pieces of that. Border security, absolutely essential. How do you spend the money for border security? A wall, is that the best way? Many of us think that is not the best way. We also need to deal with the agricultural guest worker program, which is a major problem here in California.
But do you think that Democrats, sure, yeah, I know your growers want as cheap labor as they can get. I'd like cheap labor at my house, too. But can we just agree that we should stop letting people in randomly under the diversity lottery? And it's not fair to let illegal aliens bring all their relatives. I mean, can we agree on those two things?
I think we can. So let's write a law.
Well, good. Then you should have no problem getting the government funded. Good luck. Thank you, Congressman. I appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you.